especially I want to introduce you to somebody I've wanted to meet for a long time. He's a former KFI talk show host and a filmmaker. He recently completed a timely, hard-hitting documentary that I've heard a lot about and I'm looking forward to seeing, Media Malpractice, How Obama Got Elected and Palin Was Targeted. He's been on The View, The Today Show, and his recent guest appearances with Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, and Bill O'Reilly are making him a Fox News regular. I want you to meet John Zeigler.
Thank you, Basil. I appreciate everyone being here today. Those of you who may remember me from KFI know I'm a big golf fan, and so it takes a lot to get me to miss the Masters. But thankfully there is such a thing as TiVo, which makes me wonder, are we going to live, and are our children going to live, in the same country that so many patriots died and suffered to give us? Are we still going to be living in that country in the days, the weeks, the months, and the years to come? And that to me is an amazing thing that we even have to ask that question. But that is indeed a legitimate question because of the circumstances we face, both nationally and here in the state of California. We have a president of the United States who clearly ideologically is a socialist. We have a Congress, it's true, whether the media will tell you or not, it's true. Ideologically, he clearly is a socialist. And we have a Congress of the United States that is actually maybe even further left than he is on some of these issues. So a socialist president, a socialist Congress, and an American public that, according to a poll that came out this week, only 53% of whom say that they believe capitalism is better than socialism. And a news media and an academic institution in this country that are thrilled with this reality.
They're creating it.
Absolutely, they're creating it. So what could possibly go wrong under this scenario? With a socialist president, a socialist Congress, an uneducated public, and a media that is completely and totally in the tank for this reality.
Everything.
Exactly. Everything can go wrong unless we stop it. And unless we do everything we can to stop it. But as bad as it is on the national level,
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
to me, it's actually worse on the state level. We were lied to. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is a traitor. And traitors should be treated as such. And if we do not treat traitors as such, we get what we deserve. Arnold Schwarzenegger lied to us in that now long-distant miracle that was the recall election. A lot of people here probably bought into it. I was one who did. But it was very quickly obvious that this was a mirage. This was a lie. And just because he has an R next to his name does not mean that he should be supported regardless of the level of his betrayal. In fact, the R next to his name makes the betrayal even worse, and that means the punishment should even be worse than what it currently is. Arnold Schwarzenegger has sold out his principles in exchange for some popularity with the press and apparently his wife. And I'm sorry, that is not a fair exchange. That is an act that should be punished. And by the way, those that stand with him, regardless of whether they have an R next to their name, ought to be punished just the same as him. Now, in that regard, since our side of the ideological spectrum clearly does not control academia, clearly does not control the news media, we don't control most of the levers of power anymore, but we must take responsibility, though, for our own. And that is why this type of betrayal, I think, is so very important, must be pointed out, and we cannot and should not stand by people who sell out their principles simply for the privilege. Now, before I completely lose the crowd by speaking the truth, let me just finish by thanking you for being here, and please never stop fighting for the truth and never stop fighting for the United States of America. Thank you very much.